What's up, everybody? Whoa, you're tilted here. Today we're going to do something a little bit off the cuff. We're going to look into the director's preview that Throne and Liberty just released. If you followed the channel, you might have seen my video that I released on Throne and Liberty, kind of explaining the ins and outs of it. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you go watch it. It's pretty good, if I do say so myself. Throne and Liberty is essentially a spiritual successor to Lineage 3. For about 12 years now, they've been trying to make Lineage 3. They finally announced it as Throne and Liberty instead. So the game looks pretty good. It seems to share a lot of concepts with Lineage, so by proxy, it shares a lot of concepts with Ashes of Creation. So if you're interested in Ashes of Creation, probably should be interested in Throne and Liberty as well. The big point of contention that's got people worried is it is an NC soft game, Korean developer, so pay to win? Maybe. We'll see. During an interview, they did go out of their way to say that they will avoid excessive pay to win. So whatever the hell that means, I'm not sure. But we're gonna look at this director's preview video real quick. I haven't seen it before. I don't know what's in it, but I wanted to get something on the channel to show that I am still tracking this game. I'm got my eyes open for a beta sign up so I can get you guys some gameplay footage, but I'm not sure if they're even going to do that. The game is still slated for the first half of 2023, so it should be soon. I mean, the first half of 2023 starts in 3 days, so yeah, hopefully we get some more news or a beta that we can sign up for or something. But yep, here is the director's preview for Throne and Liberty. So the video is in Korean. I did have to turn on subtitles though, so hopefully it's not too annoying to watch.
안녕하세요. NC소프트 김택진입니다. 저는 오늘 MMORPG를 좋아하는 게이머로서 TL을 소개하려고 합니다. MMORPG는
Always a good sign when the developers into playing MMOs.
출발점은 모두 동일하지만 누군가는 보고 싶은 것을 위해 세상 저 너머로 여행을 떠나고 누군가는 세상의 정점이 되고 싶다는 목표로 집단을 만들기도 하며.
Now, this all looks pretty. It does. I mean, you can't argue that it looks pretty, but this is a trailer. The game, I'm sure, won't look anything close to this. We've been burned too many times. These may be some in-game cutscenes, or the one with the wolf coming out look like. Yeah. Try not to get too hyped about what I'm seeing on screen right now, because I don't know if it'll actually make it into the game.
누군가는 가지고 싶은 것을 위해 부를 축적하고 누군가는 다른 사람과 이야기 나누는 시간을 즐기기도 합니다.
I mean, they got the spirit of the MMO, right?
자기만의 방식으로 다양한 이야기를 만들고 즐길 수 있는 세계. 바로 이런 자유가 제가 MMORPG를 좋아하는 이유이며 그런 세상이 TL입니다.
Good.
배틀 커뮤니티를 기반으로 한 전투와 경쟁으로 이루어진.
So, good. I mean, Lineage 2 has mostly good reviews. There was a couple of glaring issues that most people didn't like. I never played it myself. Those are just from talking to people and looking at stuff online. But overall, people enjoyed Lineage 2. So I think the initial direction of Throne and Liberty will be fine. Like he was saying, people play MMOs for different reasons. So trying to create content and get all these different groups of people that are playing the game for very different reasons, it's quite the challenge, and that's a challenge that all MMOs have to go through.
인트로. 환경이 살아있는 월드에서 모험과 자유를 만끽하는 리버티.
wanna go there.
국가와 세대를 초월하여 우리 모두 함께하는 엔드까지. TL, 트론의 리버티는 모두가 즐길 수 있는 플레이 포 올을 향해 개발되었습니다. 그리고 이런 TL의 특징을 가장 잘 표현하고 즐길 수 있는 플랫폼이 PC와 콘솔이라 생각합니다.
Oh, PC and console. Okay.
MMO만의 가치와 감성이 PC와 콘솔에서
Yeah, not fuck mobile. No one likes mobile.
그럼 지금부터 TL의 세상을 정식으로 여러분들께 소개하겠습니다.
Oh, we get some gameplay footage.
안녕하세요. TL 캠프의 PD 안종욱입니다. 리버티는 TL의 세계를 구성하는 근간입니다. 리버티라는 뿌리에서 시작해서 사람들이 얽히고 설켜 스론이라는 꽃이 피는 것이 TL이 그리는 세계입니다. 월드는 게임의 가장 핵심적인 요소이자 시작입니다. 거대한 하나의 연결된 구조로 만들어진 월드는
Has no
사람과
boundaries.
사람과 세계를 단절시키지 않고 서로 끊임없이 상호작용하게 해주는 토대입니다. 보통 지하 던전이라고 하면 입구와 던전이 분리되고 던전 안에서도 여러 층으로 분리된 공간으로 구성하는 경우가 많은데 저희는 그 모든 공간을 하나로 연결했습니다. 단번에 던전의 마지막 층으로 이동할 수도 서로 다른 층에 있는 유저들에게 도움을 줄 수도 피해를 줄 수도 있습니다. 던전의 안과 밖, 위와 아래가 연결됨으로써 공간적인 경험을 모두가 공유하게 됩니다. 그리고 단순히 필드를 뛰어다니는 것만이 아니라
I'll let him finish.
구체적으로 구성된 지형에서 자신만의 루트를 만들어갈 수 있습니다. 저희가 월드를 하나의 연결된 구조로 만든 이유는 사람들이 모이고 같이 생활하면서 사회를 구성하고 그 안에서 스스로의 존재감을 찾아가는 것이 MMO의 본질적인 부분이라고 생각했기 때문입니다. 모두가 동시에 게임을 시작해서 같이 역사를 써나.
Yeah, I mean, the crux of what he's saying is great, right? And this, like I said, shares a lot of concepts with Ashes of Creation. If you watch my channel, you're probably interested in that game. Free space, interact with players freely. They talked about being able to deal damage or provide aid to players, which I assume they talk about open PvP, which is a point of contention. And it's even worse in a game like this. And I'm passing a little bit of judgment before it comes out. I hope it doesn't end up like this. I hope it doesn't. But you have people scared because Korean MMOs are known for pay-to-win elements, but then you're having open PvP as well, and it's just not a good mix. I'm going to spend 8 hours a day, playing the game or streaming the game, doing whatever I want to do to have fun, and then you got fucking Big Dick Darren over here that's going to throw $1,000 down on his character, get all the best shit, and then he's just going to come stomp me, and it just doesn't mix well together. So I really hope that when they say they won't have excessive pay-to-win, that they won't have any pay-to-win. That would be the best thing we could do for any game, really. And we'll see. Trying to remain optimistic about it. What he said about being able to explore through all different places, different levels with the movement, I think that's going to be awesome. So if you don't know, you can kind of see it right here on screen. The way mounts work in this game is you actually turn into the animal yourself. So you'll turn into an eagle or a hawk, or you'll turn into a horse or a moose or whatever. So between that and then you also have a grappling hook that you can jump up and down. So it's very vertical in this game, which I think is awesome. So that part I think is going to be great. We'll see how it actually turns out on launch, if they have to nerf their own idea in order to get the game out.
나가면서 수많은 추억과 경험을 만들고 공유하는 세상을 보여주고 싶었습니다. 날씨와 환경은 현실감을 강화하는 시각적인 효과뿐만 아니라 살아 숨쉬며 유저에게 영향을 주는 유기적인 컨텐츠입니다. 살아있는 월드는 환경에 잘 적응하고 이를 활용할 수 있는 유저들에게 다양한 선택지를 제공할 수 있게 합니다.
So the weather and environment change things, right?
달라질 수도 있고 생명체들의 생태에 변화가 생기기도
See, that's cool. It rained, so it flooded that little quarry.
촉발되는 컨텐츠들도 존재합니다. 이것은 게임에서 설계한 자연 법칙에 따라 개연성을 가지고 일관되게 나타나는 현상들이고, 그래서 이 규칙을 이해하고 응용할 수 있는 유저들은 이런 환경 변화를 스스로 만들어낼 수도 있습니다. 예측이 가능한 낮과 밤은 앞으로의 플레이에
Again, like I said, it's a trailer really, so we don't know if the graphics are going to look like this.
대한
But just
계획을 세울 수 있게
look at this. Look at the sunlight pouring through, the detail on this
하고,
fighter, knight, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty damn impressive.
예측이 불가능한 날씨와 바람은 대응을 요구하게 됩니다. 환경은 월드의 끊임없이 작은 변화, 변수를 만들어내는 요소이며, 이 변화들은 월드에 생동감을 부여하고 플레이를 다채롭게 만들어줍니다. 월드의 이야기를 만드는 것에도 많은
I like the idea behind the weather changing what you can do. Some examples they gave in previous things were if you use lightning bolt while it's raining, it'll spread, so it becomes more of like an AoE or a multi-target spell instead of a single target. During sieges, they talked about how if it's raining, the sewers might be flooded, so you can't go in that way. Whereas if it's not raining, you could sneak in through the sewers. So I like the idea behind creating multiple avenues for things like that. It just sounds hard to balance, man. You've already got all these classes, which they haven't talked about the way the class system works yet, but you have all these different classes, all these different ways people are going to play. You on games that don't do stuff like this, you already have a hard enough time balancing without making every class the same, essentially. So I think it's awesome. I'm excited to see what all they can do with it. I'm just a little nervous for balancing purposes.
공을 들였습니다. 궁극적으로 MMO는 유저들이 만들어 나가는 역사가 곧 그 게임의 이야기가 되지만 그 역사가 펼쳐질 무대를 흥미롭게 꾸며놓는 것도 매우 중요합니다. 유저는 과거와 현재, 미래가 이어지는 시점을 초월하는 이야기를 직접 플레이로 경험하면서 이 세계에 등장하는 수많은 인물들 그리고 그들의 이야기를 알게 되고 이를 통해 이 세계를 더 현실감 있게 느끼고 이해할 수 있습니다.
That thing's disgusting. I don't know what that was, but I already don't like it.
안녕하세요. TL 캠프의 게임 디자인 디렉터 이문섭입니다. 전투는 MMO의 부정할 수 없는 근간이죠.
Yep.
앞서 소개드렸던
Combat is king.
월드와 마찬가지로 전투 역시 하나의 결론만을 추구하지 않습니다. TL에서는 어떤 무기를 선택하였는지에 따라 유저의 역할이 결정됩니다.
Okay.
유저는
So it's kind of like Guild Wars
게임이
almost.
정해놓은 역할인 클래스에 갇히지 않고 상황에 맞춰 얼마든지 무기를 전환할 수 있습니다. 두 종류의 무기를 조합하여 사용하는 것이 가능하며 무기 전환을 통해 강점을 극대화하거나 안정적으로 약점을 보완하는 전략을 세울 수도 있습니다. 이 밖에도 위기 상황이 닥쳤을 때
I enjoy not having to
타이밍에
change my
맞춰
class
자신을 보호하는 디펜스 액션도 무기별로
to do something different.
유저는
That's good.
다양한 기능들을 사용해 전투의 세부적인 양상을 조절해 나가게 됩니다. 서로 다른 무기의 스킬 연계를 통해 궁극적으로는 조합의 즐거움을 찾아가는 과정. 그것이 바로 TL이 추구하는
Okay.
프리클래스입니다. 유저들이 자유의지를 가지고 전투 참여 여부를 선택할 수 있습니다.
That's cool. So no classes. You use weapons instead. And you can have up to 2 weapons that you combine the skills for, and that basically determines how you play. I enjoy not having to switch classes. That's one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy XIV. Is you can do everything on one job, or you can do all the jobs on one character, rather. So I do like that. I've never been that into games that where everything is derived off your weapons, because it feels too samey. You don't get to customize your own character enough. We'll see. I mean, classes that do classes, games that do classes, that's how you say that, they have similar problems, so it's probably all on how the developers tweak it. The combat looked fun. I don't know how much interaction the different classes are going to have. I don't know if it's just as simple as you can stun somebody with your staff and then dash in with double daggers and get bonus damage, or if the abilities are actually going to change depending on which two you're using together, because that's what I would want to see. But again, that feeds back into it becoming an absolute nightmare to balance correctly.
수 있도록 PVP 규칙을 만들고자 했습니다. TL의 필드는 대부분 안전 지역이고 보스나 지역 이벤트 등의 경쟁 콘텐츠가 시작되면 해당
Oh.
영역이 전투 가능한 지역으로
So most of the fields are safe, so it's not just anywhere that they can get just wrecked by New Master 69.
수 있습니다. 내가 위치한 지역에 어떤 콘텐츠가 예정되어 있는지 미리 알 수 있기 때문에 전략적인 플레이가 가능하고 예상치 못하게 PVP 상황에 노출되는
Ah, okay. That's
없을
good.
것입니다.
So you know what you're getting. See, I feel like that's a perfect compromise there. You can't just get killed anywhere in the world. You know when you're going into these events that PvP is going to occur. That's something similar to what Ashes of Creation is doing. They kind of went a different direction where you can fight at any time, but there's just no real reason to outside of certain areas or certain events. Throne and Liberty just made it so where you can't fight unless you're in one of those events. So I feel like that's a good compromise for a lot of people. I'm not sure how the economy in this game is going to work, so I don't know how important it is that the resources are limited. I don't know. I have no idea what the crafting system or anything in this game looks like, so I can't really comment on that. But I think a lot of people will enjoy that they can go out and cut down their trees and gather their herbs and farm their monsters without the risk of getting murdered by Noob Master 69. So overall, I feel like that's a fair compromise. That way, you can gather your friends and you can go into this dungeon or something and you expect there to be some action. Whereas when you're just roaming around the world by yourself, you're just trying to level up or whatever, you don't have to be afraid of that. So I think it's a good compromise. I like it.
다양한 특색을 가진 지역으로 구성되어 있으며 각 지역의 이야기를 바탕으로 진행되는 경쟁 컨텐츠가 존재합니다. 이런 지역 이벤트는 해당 지역에 있는 모든 유저들이 참여할 수 있으며 20여 분의 정해진 시간 동안 높은 순위를 차지하기 위해 경쟁을 펼치게 됩니다. 이번에는 길드전을 한번 살펴보겠습니다. TL의 필드에는
Interesting.
길드 단위로만 소유할 수 있는 오브젝트인 기원석과 차원석이 있습니다. 이 두 개를 통칭하여 점령석이라 부르는데 이들 점령석의 소유는 길드 전체의 능력 향상과 자원 확보로 이어집니다. 점령석을 쟁취하기 위해 길드 간의 치열한 전투가 펼쳐질 수밖에 없는데요.
Okay.
전투에서 우위를 차지하기 위해서는 점령석이 위치한 지역의 지형적인 특징을
I would like to think this is what gameplay is actually going to look like.
방어선 구축을 하는
I'm just...
밀도 높은 전략이 필요합니다.
Trailers make me nervous. Alright, so you got some Guild War action. I like the idea of the competitions. If it's used for like leveling and gathering stuff, it might kind of break the monotony of farming.
최문영입니다. TL을 더욱 TL답게 만들어주는 서비스 방향성에 대해 설명드리고자 합니다. TL의 모든 요소들은 모두를 위한 플레이라는 서비스 방향성과 일치합니다. TL은 처음부터 PC와 콘솔까지 목표하고
One for all for one kind of makes me nervous. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what they're talking about. At the beginning, it made it sound like they're saying that they're going to put so much into this game that it's for everybody. But I don't know. When MMOs try to do everything for everybody, they kind of lose their identity. You can look at World of Warcraft as a perfect example of this. They went further and further away from their niche, and they were trying to do something for everybody and create content for no matter how casual of a player you were. You could participate. You could do all the stuff. You could get all the gear, and it kind of screwed the game up. So the one for all for one, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Hopefully he's about to get into it, but yeah, your game doesn't have to be for everybody. Like, you can get a wide audience without trying to make something for every single person. If your game is good and it has its niche, you will attract players. I think if you try and get everybody, you'll lose people, if that makes any sense.
개발을 시작했습니다. 각 디바이스에 맞는 전용 UI, UX가 제공되고 또 모바일에서도 스트리밍 플레이가 가능합니다.
Streaming is possible on mobile. I don't know
다양한
what that means.
디바이스에서 더 많은 유저가 TL을 즐길 수 있도록 준비했습니다. 그리고 월드뿐만 아니라 캐릭터 디자인에도 글로벌 유저의 요구에 맞게 많은 노력을 하였습니다.
Yeah, I mean, character designer looks good, but that's not surprising.
작은 부분까지도 세심히 표현하였고 사진을 이용하여 외형을 손쉽게 만들 수 있는
What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
이용하여
You can use an actual picture of yourself to create your character. Now that's cool. I don't know if I'll use it because I'm ugly as sin and I wouldn't want that in a video game for everybody to have to look at. But that is pretty damn cool.
사진을 이용하여 외형을 손쉽게 만들 수 있는 AI 커스터마이징 기능도 제공됩니다. 또한 플레이 중에도 다양한 스타일의 외형으로 변경이 가능합니다.
You can change your character while you're playing. Good.
수많은 유저가 함께 즐기는 MMO를 목표로 개발된 TL은 최적화에도 만전의 노력을 기울이고 있습니다. 유저분들의 쾌적한 플레이가 가능하도록 힘쓰겠습니다. TL의 메모리얼은 유저들의 진행도에 맞춰 순차적으로 개방되는 다이나믹 컨텐츠입니다.
Do we fight that? Can we fight that thing?
5년 전 디렉터스 컷 행사를 통해 처음 TL을 소개했었는데 이제 곧 여러분들과 TL의 월드에서 만난다는 생각에 가슴이 벅차고 떨립니다. 관심을 가지고 TA를 기다려주신 많은 분들께 감사드리며 기대에 부응할 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
Interesting. Overall, I'm excited. I think there's lots of good stuff being added into this game. That whole create your character from a picture really threw me for a loop there. I didn't expect that. The game looks fun. It's looked fun since it originally was announced. That's why I initially covered it on the channel. They have some very unique designs. I think it's a great warm-up game while you're waiting on Ashes of Creation. If you're one of those people, that's what my guild is doing. We're gearing up for Ashes of Creation. We need something to do in the meantime to test out the way our guild functions, and this is going to be the perfect game to do that. Overall, I like the game. I think it's going to look cool. I think it looks fun. I think their philosophies behind the game look good. I'm a little worried about excessive pay to win. I'm a little worried about class balancing. I'm a little worried about them trying to do too much in the game. The game's been in development for 12 years, but they've had to pivot the direction of the game multiple times. So I wouldn't actually say it's been in development for 12 years. At least I don't know how long it's been. It could have been 6, but they showcased what was Lineage 3 years ago, and this is a completely different game than that was. So they've had to pivot the game direction at least once. So it's not actually 12 years of development time, not towards this at least. They recovered some of the story elements, and they recovered some of the characters and stuff, I think. But other than that, it's a completely different game. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to play it. I'll definitely be streaming this game whenever it comes out. Like I said, my eye is on for open beta or even a closed beta that I can worm my way into. But yeah, let me know what you guys are excited about. Are you nervous about anything with Throne and Liberty, or are you just ready to play some sort of new MMO? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, helps the channel out, and I'll see you guys later.